So what our bot does is kind of finding all the questions in the history and then indexing them using our AI models. And if someone now asks a question, it automatically replies with a similar question that has been asked and answered before, such that the user can directly get the answer to his problem and doesn't have to wait also for the support stuff, and it reduces the workload of the support stuff as well. So this is kind of how it works on our end. We take the chat history of the Discord server, and using our AI, we extract all the questions and answers and train our AI model to index those questions. And then whenever a new question comes in by a user, our AI checks if there's a similar question that has been asked in the past. And if that's the case, we link to this question currently. We're also right now working on adding predefined answers for the questions, such that the user doesn't even have to click on the question first to see the answer, but directly gets the reply of the answer. And of course, if there hasn't been asked a similar question in the past, then our bot doesn't do anything. So it basically only provides additional value without any spam. And what we also added is that you can provide feedback via thumbs up or thumbs down. And this not only helps the kind of support to see directly if the question has been answered already, because like if you vote down, as you can see here, the message of the bot is being deleted to again prevent spam and also show the support staff that like this question is still being unanswered and they have to provide an answer there. But it also helps our AI, right? Because we get like human feedback if it was a good match or not. And if it wasn't, then our AI will try to reduce this match in the future. And if it's being upvoted, that's a great signal. And our AI will like continue and learn from this feedback. So what we've also launched recently is these FAQ insights, where we aggregate all the questions that come in over the Discord group chats. And here's an example for Dune. For example, a lot of people are asking how they can delete their dashboards or also how to change the username. So this helps Dune on the one hand to improve the documentation, because apparently users struggle to find the information how to do this. And on the other hand, they told us it's very important also to improve their product, right? Because with this information, they can now like design their UX, just that it's either more obvious how to do this, or in case the feature doesn't exist, they can directly use this as feedback that it's a highly requested feature and can then add it to improve the UX for the end users. So what's next now, going from the Discord bot, we want to standalone platform for customer support in Web3. So basically, as a support staff, you want to have one unified inbox. So if users are asking questions over Telegram, Discord, Twitter, or web chat, you want to have one single place where you have a structured way of like seeing all the questions that have not been answered yet, and can also assign different support reps for certain questions. So in the back office, you kind of want to have the capabilities that also a Zendesk or Intercom has. But in the front, the user should still be able to ask their questions in this community setting and through the different channels of Telegram, Discord, and WebChat. And here we also highly want to integrate with the on-chain data, so that if users have problems with their transactions, they can directly connect their wallet on our platform, and then the support staff can easily see what were the recent transactions. For example, if someone tried to transfer some funds and then asks, yeah, I don't know where my funds are, they haven't arrived yet, the support staff can easily see if, for example, there exists a pending transaction, then he can just tell the user, okay, either here the gas fees were not high enough, or you might just have to wait a little longer until your funds arrive. And based on this on-chain information, we can also automate certain support flows. So if someone else had similar recent transactions and a similar question, we can automatically suggest, okay, here you have a pending transaction. Similarly, someone else had this pending transaction, and most likely you will just have to wait a little bit longer. And then the support staff can kind of check this answer afterwards and like correct it if it was wrong. Also, similar to the FAQ insights I showed you before, we want to provide like an always up-to-date FAQ page, because a current big pain is kind of updating the FAQs, because also the products in the Web3 space change so frequently, and like all the information is being outdated very quickly. So what we do is basically find the trending questions, and if like a new question emerges because of a product update, for example, then we can directly notify our customers that they should add this question to their FAQs. And also if like the information, the answer basically to a question in the FAQ doesn't match the answer that is given in the Discord after someone answers, like a support staff answers the question, then we can also notify the customer that, okay, this doesn't seem to match the answer you have in your documentation. Maybe you need to consider changing the documentation to provide the updated information. So basically, this is kind of the workflow that we're aiming for by building the Zendesk for Web3. So whenever a new question comes in, be it over Discord, Telegram, Twitter, or also web chats such as Intercom, we first decide either if it's a general question or a product usage question. So general questions are questions about the product in general. For example, when will you launch a token? How do you change a username? Something like this. And if an answer exists, so our bot basically knows an answer, then our Awesomeqa bot posts this answer directly. Otherwise, the support staff answers this question, and we then use this data to feed it into our AI model, and then use it if someone else is going to ask the same question in the future. On the other hand, if it's a product usage question, that depends on maybe on Aave, someone is asking, he tried to take a loan, but something didn't work, then he is referred to our Awesomeqa platform, where he can then connect his wallet, and then we like extract the on-chain data to display the recent transactions, and also provide the support staff with some information about the user segments, so that they can kind of adjust the communication based on if it's a user that is new to Web3 or if it's someone that has a lot of DeFi experience with other protocols as well, because then you can communicate on a whole another level, and you also directly know that, okay, most likely this is not a very basic problem, but maybe something more advanced. And here we also, like based on the on-chain data as well as the question, we will try to automate some support flows that have existed before. So if several people like did the same transaction and failed at the same point and then ask a similar question, then we can directly match this and provide suggestions to the user directly without them having to wait for the support staff answering, which then always gives them like directly the relief that, yeah, for example, they just need to wait a little longer, so their funds will be transferred in the near future. And of course, if here our AI doesn't find anything similar to the general questions, then the support rep answers the question, and we use this data again in an anonymized way to feed it into the AI model again. And especially for these questions where kind of on-chain data is required and that are dependent on the wallet address and the transactions, it's really important for the users also to have this private channel, because then you don't want to have this interaction directly in the group chat, right? Because no one wants to expose their wallet address to everyone in the community. And so this is basically our roadmap. We're currently here in Q3. So we launched the FAQ Insights model, have currently close to 20 clients. And what we're highly working on right now and hopefully going to launch in the next 2 to 3 weeks is the functionality to add predefined answers to the bot, such that the bot kind of doesn't need to post the link to the question, but really post the answer directly. And we're also currently raising our pre-seed, which takes some time as well on our side. But we're really trying to also focus on product development at the same time. And then in Q4 of this year, we want to do the on-chain data integration for Ethereum mainnet and launch the standalone platform, where then the support staff can handle the different customer support requests in a structured way and directly kind of have this overview of all the questions that have not been answered yet. And here, of course, we also want to integrate the different channels such as Telegram and web chat and Twitter as well. And then in the long term, so going forward next year, we always want to improve the automation, then including also based on the on-chain data, and improve the product feedback module. So having a direct pipeline from all the user feedback towards the product team, which that they can basically use to improve their product development decisions. And regarding the on-chain data, we of course then want to expand to other chains and L2s. One more point is then that in the future we want to kind of democratize all the knowledge inside the Discord and Telegram group chats by publishing them. So this, of course, is kind of critical because this has to be anonymized. So we, of course, don't want to publish any wallet addresses that have been pasted there so far. And some users might not want their handle to be exposed as well. So here it's really critical that we kind of anonymize all the information that is specific to certain users. But then publishing this information really helps to onboard and activate more users, because then they can directly Google their problem and find their answers, similar to Web 2, where people are asking a lot of questions on Stack Overflow. So there it's really easy to then find the solution to your current problem. And this should be the same for Web 3, right? Instead of having to go to the Discord and asking a question there, you want to be able to directly find it with Google. And also potentially we'll launch a community reward module, because it's always also great if the community helps each other. However, this will most likely not be in a monetized way, but more through NFTs that are then kind of a sign of prestige and appreciation of the product. But if we monetize kind of the rewards, then this system will be gamed, and most likely the quality of the support and answers will drastically decrease, which is then of course not great neither for the product, or for the users. So if you want to try it, you'll be able to have a 3-month trial, and you can contact us at hi@awesomeqa.xyz. So how would you go about installing it? You can just go to our homepage, awesomeqa.xyz, then invite the bot, and then we'll have to train the AI for you and set it up and activate it. So there, if you're kind of unsure, you can also request a simulation from us. So then you get a link to our website where we show all the answers our bot would have given in the past. And that's basically everything about our product. It's also kind of used by a lot of the big Web3 companies such as Aave, Dune, Alchemy, and PoApp. So they really like it, and we're trying really hard to now improve the product and build it further. And if you have any questions or feedback, I'd love to hear this, since you're also a lot in the space, right? And kind of the perfect audience to where it would be really interesting to get your thoughts on this.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, for coming on and giving us that demo. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and then ask your questions. If not, there's always that chat box on the top right corner of your screen that you're seeing now. You can pull that down and then you can ask your questions there. Um, but like as I mentioned, the first time when Korabs and I spoke about Awesome QA Bot, and he gave a demo to me, I thought it was very amazing. So I wanted to bring it on to the WMI Discord. But the thing is, with the WMI Discord, we don't have many similar questions. So I guess in that sense, we don't really see much of the Awesome QA bot within our Discord community. But we've seen it a couple of times. I think it did pretty well so far. Nothing, nothing to complain about. No feedback as of right now. But we're hoping to see more and more similar questions come on the Discord and then see how that works for us. But yeah, does anyone have any questions? Okay. Well, I just wanted to say, looking at the roadmap, I think it's panning out to be something super amazing. Starting from the like Q3 2022, those things are really amazing. And I think for myself and I'm sure from everyone else on the call, we wish you the best of luck raising some funds for the awesome QA bot. I think like we would definitely want to see you guys flourish in the space. I think it's very, very important for you guys to, I mean, for the whole Web3 community to essentially have your, um, you know, your bot within their communities. But yeah, Ratish has a question and he's asking, any current clients you're working with?
Yeah, so the bot is, yeah, exactly. So it's live on Dune and Aave, and so we have close to 20 clients right now. Also Alchemy, also the Lens protocol, because Aave liked it so much, they also recommended it to Lens. Recently, we also onboarded PoUp, and then also to gaming discords, which is also a really interesting segment because a lot of people there are having many questions, right? And yeah, so it's also on servers like 1inch and Variable. So we really get a lot of great user feedback. Alex is asking, I'd like to know if one can integrate this bot to a website or landing page. How do you mean? Like, how do you want to integrate it? So so currently it's not a web chatbot, so we offer this only inside Discord so far. If that's what you're asking, you mean probably similar to like Zendesk or Intercom, the chatbots that are on the web, I guess. So this is certainly planned in the future once we have this standalone platform where users can do this in the background. As of now, if you want to have like a web chatbot, you probably have to go to something like Zendesk or Intercom. However, they of course don't provide the integration with the Discord group chats or Telegram group chats.
Yeah. And I think you also mentioned in 2023, you guys are planning to go on chain. Is that on Ethereum or would that be like chain agnostic?
Yeah, so in the first step, it's like end of this year, probably on Ethereum. And then in 2023, we're planning to also integrate more and more chains. And that's kind of really dependent on what our users are asking for.